Everyone in this room has greatness inside of them. Everyone has the power to go after what I call your own gold medal moment. But there will be challenges along the way, and those challenges will help test your strength, test your resolve, and test your determination to continue to move forward. I had monumental challenges, life-altering challenges as a child. But despite those challenges, I never lost my fight. And I continued and moved on to where I became a World, Paralympic, and Commonwealth Games champion. I used a performance mindset to be able to go on and accomplish my own gold medal moment. Now, it may come as a surprise that we actually have gold inside of us. It's true. It's in our bloodstream, it's in our bones, and more importantly for me, it's in our heart. We do not have to go to Paris this summer for the Olympics or the Paralympics to accomplish great things. We can stay right here at home as long as you have a dream and you get outside your comfort zone. You can accomplish anything you want in life. So I ask you, what is your gold medal moment? I alluded to the fact I had health history when I was younger. I was 6 years old. I was playing in our family home in North Sydney, Nova Scotia with my twin brother Brett. We were jumping around from chair to chair. It was a great evening so far. Until that particular evening I fell, and down on the floor I went. My mom and dad were upstairs entertaining. They heard the scream. They came downstairs. They picked me up, and Dad put me in the family car and we drove to the hospital. After some tests, they realized that it was serious, and they put me in an ambulance and drove me 4 hours away to Halifax, to the Isaac Walton Killam Hospital, the leading hospital for kids on the east coast of Canada. But the diagnosis, after the specialist did it, came back. Osteogenic sarcoma, and it was spreading. Bone cancer, commonly known. But like all of us in this room, we have choices, and those choices help reshape, redefine, and refocus what we think is possible. My mom asked the doctors one question. Not, what are the chances Andrew's going to die? She said, what are the chances my boy is going to survive? Despite being given a 35% chance to survive, I fought with everything that I had because I wanted there to be a tomorrow. Finally, on my birthday, I was 8 years old, January 16th, 1982. I had one chemo treatment left. The doctors were going to come into the room and talk to us and to let us know what the plan was for me to finally be able to go home. They took my mom and dad aside. I could not hear this conversation. And they said, Bill, Linda, I hate to tell you this, but the cancer is now in Andrew's lung. He's got another 35% chance to beat it. We need to operate right away. My mom and dad came over to the bed where I was. They weren't crying. They weren't emotional. And I asked them what was going on, and my mom said to me, Andrew, don't worry about it. We will be okay. We are going to be in the hospital a little bit longer, but we will be okay. And I firmly believe my mom and my dad saved my life that day because they didn't tell me what was going on. And I didn't know how severe it was. And I was able to get hope to be better. And outside love, hope is the strongest word in the English dictionary, and I was so lucky to be able to have that and overcome the disease. People would say to me, Andrew, you are very lucky to overcome cancer twice. Anybody would be lucky to overcome cancer once, let alone twice. But I feel lucky because I wasn't my mom or my dad or any parent out there that has to deal with the life struggles of a kid in that particular moment. Well, I was finally able to go home. We were walking outside the hospital. My mom and dad looked down at me. I got this artificial leg that I'm walking with now. They held my hand and they said, Andrew, remember this. It's not how many times you get knocked down in life. It's how many times you get up that determine the quality of your life. I didn't forget it then. I don't forget it now. Those are words to live by. No matter the obstacles, you continue to fight and continue to move on. I went to North Sydney, town of about 7,500 people at the time. I felt like the only kid, only person in my small town with a disability. And in order to fit in, I played floor hockey, road hockey, basketball, baseball, all the sports. My friends did not treat me any differently. They didn't treat me like a guy with one leg. They treated me like Andrew. In sport, there is many tools that we get taught. And one of the ones is very common in any walk of life. And that is to control the controllables. I kind of learned it the hard way. I'm swimming in a competition, 1991, in Antigonish, Nova Scotia. There is one athlete that I thought I could beat. I'm the only disabled athlete in this pool of athletes. Everybody else was able-bodied. I wanted to beat Timmy really bad. At the end of the race, I look up at the scoreboard and I lost to everybody, including Timmy. I hop back over to where I was sitting. I sit down in the chair and my coach comes over and says, "How did that go?" And I'm like, "Well, did you not see what happened? I lost. Defiant, losing." He goes, "I don't see it that way." He said, "What was your best time going into the race?" I said, 1 minute and 20 seconds. He said, "What did you go?" 1 minute and 18 seconds. He said, "Do you know what you did?" Again, I snapped back. I lost. He said, "No, Andrew, you just set a personal world record," otherwise known as the best time. But in that moment, he made me feel really good about myself, because anytime I hear a world record, I feel that it's really, really great. But he said it wasn't all great. I said, "How do you mean?" He said, "You were so focused on Timmy that you weren't focused on your start, on your turn, on your propulsion of your stroke, nothing. You were focused on somebody that you could not control." And when I went home and started to focus on the things that I could control, not only did I beat Timmy, I beat a lot of other people. If you're faced with the question that sometimes you make a choice, things will go really well. Other times you make a choice, perhaps you're going to regret the outcome if you don't choose properly for a long time. In 1992, I swam the 400-meter freestyle at the Barcelona Paralympics, my very first race of the 4 Paralympics that I swam in. And in this particular race in the morning, the world record in that time was 4 minutes and 43 seconds. The world record holder in preliminaries went 4 minutes and 46 seconds. To put that in perspective, my best time going in was 4 minutes and 58 seconds. 15 seconds slower than the world record. When the world record holder would be finished, I'd still be halfway down the pool, pretty far behind. But somehow, I went 4 minutes and 46 seconds, broke the Canadian record by 12 seconds, and qualified second going into finals. At finals that night, we marshal out. We each have our lane. I've got lane 5. It signifies second fastest going into the final. We get behind the block. The announcer says, "Take your mark." The gun goes off and into the pool. Crisp, refreshing, and remember it well. And up the pool to start this race. And all anybody was ever talking about was Iceland, Norway, and Germany. These 3 athletes, well, they're going to win the medals. At the 100-meter mark, I am 4th behind those 3. At the 200-meter mark, I am 4th. At the 300-meter mark, I am 4th. But that's where things changed, at least for me. What happened was a voice comes inside my head. "Go now. They'll never expect you to make a move at the 300. Go." And I was ready to do it until the devil voice comes in my head and said, "Don't go now. If you go now, you may die. In swimming terminology, we don't actually mean you're going to die. What we mean is you may fall back and finish next to last or even last. And remember, I was fourth. Was it worth it? Until the angel voice comes back inside my head and says, don't go now. Sorry, go now. Allow yourself to be great. And don't we want a moment in our life that we can take an opportunity and walk through that door of destiny, that we make a decision that we're going to go after what is in front of us? And I did just that. Well, Iceland won the race, 4:41. Norway was second, 4:42. And I had a very improbable bronze medal, 4:43. I would have won the gold medal if the other two swimmers were not in the race. I would have set the world record if they weren't in the race. But that's exactly like I'm talking about for the gold medal moment. It's not about winning gold. It's about what you want to accomplish, what you're willing to give up, what you're willing to continue to move forward each and every day of your life. So what I want to do now is I want to share 7 steps that help me along my journey that I think will help the audience perhaps for your journey. The first step of the 7 steps is you have to believe what you're doing, you can accomplish it no matter what. In swimming, I believed that I was going to be a world champion, Paralympic champion, Commonwealth champion. I believed it. And I went after it with everything that I have. And so that's the requirement, is to believe that you can accomplish great things, personal excellence. The second thing is you have to be able to overcome obstacles and deal with obstacles as they're happening and not be distracted in your quest to reach your goal. The third one is make sure that you're not focused on the outcome. Focus on the process, because the process is beautiful. There's going to be highs and lows, trials and tribulations, but you're going to meet a lot of great people, and you're going to learn a lot about yourself, those inch by inch, getting to the point. And if you are prepared to get to that end point, chances are you will find success. Number 4 is performance goal setting. I always put performance ahead of goals. In my work, in swimming, in life, if you're setting goals, I always want to make sure that it's always about moving me forward to be the best I possibly can be. And that's why I feel that it gets more accountable and I have more SMART goals in order to put the performance there. The 5th one is very special to me. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. Back in 1993, at the ESPN Sport Awards, the ESPYs, there was a basketball coach, Jimmy Valvano. He was dying of cancer, but yet there he was on stage giving this amazing speech about him, his life, and cancer research. He was starting a foundation, and the motto of the foundation was, don't give up, don't ever give up. When I read this on my 7 steps, the first don't give up is a nod to the bone cancer that I had when I was younger and the 35% chance to beat it. The second don't give up was a nod to the lung cancer and the 35% chance. And I feel that those were the biggest battles that I'd ever faced in my life. And I wasn't going to finish my swimming career because I wasn't feeling good on a certain day and I wanted to quit. I never allowed that to enter my mind. The 6th one is work, sport, home, life balance. We all need that level of balance. Take a break before you break. So when Monday morning shows up, that I can win Monday. I can be amazing on Monday. I can prove to myself how excited I am to get to the pool on Monday morning because I want to be amazing. By taking that break allows me the opportunity to do that. And the 7th one is together everyone achieves more. Team. being a team. All those results I've mentioned can never be possible without being part of a team. That is super, super important. And I've used this 7 steps multiple times during my career to get me back to where I need to go. We've talked a lot in the last little time that I've had with you. We've talked about going after your gold medal moment, personal excellence, resilience, be excellent. But ultimately, it comes down to how much you want to go after a higher power, a higher ability that you may not see, but you have it inside of you to continue on. Somebody once asked me, Andrew, you have sacrificed so much in your life to accomplish great things. And I'd always respond the same. I never sacrificed a day in my life. I invested my time to be as amazing as I possibly can be. So I put that to each and every one of you. What are you willing to do? What are you willing to invest in to go after what you want to accomplish in life? Go after your gold medal moment. Go after your dreams and what you want to accomplish in your life. Think about 10 years from now, looking back, what do you want that person to be? And finally, you don't have to conquer the world. You just have to conquer your world. And if you can do that, I'm pretty sure that the results will be exactly where you want them to be. I'm cheering for you. Thanks very much.